Welcome back. In this lesson, we'll be looking at strategies for answering the IELTS reading question, label a diagram. As always, let's begin by looking at some basics for this question type. In your IELTS reading test, you may be asked to label a diagram with information from a passage that describes this diagram you're given. I say you may need to do this question type as there's probably an equal chance that you will see it on the day of your test. There are three different types of diagrams that you could see. A technical drawing of a machine or invention, something natural, for example a plant or a tree, or a plan of something. Examples of a plan could be a town or a house. Now, at this point, it's important to say to you that your prior understanding of describing this diagram and the language used to describe it is completely unimportant. And that's because the answers will come from within the passage that describes the diagram. This question type is not a test of your understanding of the diagram at all. It's simply a test of you being able to locate key information in a text. And lastly, there's a very good chance that the answers will not be in order in the passage. So let's take a look at an example of a label a diagram question. To the left, we have a short passage which describes our diagram to the right. The instructions are just above the diagram, and let's read through the instructions now, as you should always do. The diagram below shows a key-operated padlock. Label the diagram by using no more than 2 words from the reading passage to fill each numbered space. Write the answers in boxes 1 to 2 on your answer sheet. So there we have it, an example of a label a diagram question. Now let's take a look at the strategy I recommend you use for answering these question types. Firstly, remember that the answers may not be in order. Then read through the instructions as I have just done and pay careful attention to the word count. In this example, we say no more than 2 words. So if you write 3 words in your answer, you know that you will receive 0 marks for that. Once you've checked the word count, carefully investigate the diagram and make predictions on the language that could be used to describe each part. Have a look to see if there is a title on the diagram. And here the diagram is titled with a key-operated padlock. Let's take a look at number 1, which is this curved metal shape sitting on top of a golden box. That's how I would describe it, and it means that I'm looking for that kind of language in the passage. Once you've carefully investigated the diagram and made some predictions on how you might describe each part, then skim and scan the text for answers. So remember, I described the top part as a metal curve, and the bottom part I would describe as a box with a keyhole. So we're looking for language related to my prediction. Pause the video now and see if you can find the answers to number 1 and number 2. Please pause the video again if you need some more time. And here are the answers to questions 1 and question 2. Number 1 is a shackle and number 2 is steel case. They're actually answered in the passage in the same sentence. Have a look to the passage now where the answers are located. A shackle, which is a curved revolving bar, extends up from the steel case. So these are words that I predicted may be in the answers, or at least they're synonyms of words that I were predicting would be the answers. One more time, let's quickly go through this strategy. So remember that answers may not be in order. Check the word count carefully, as you should do for every question type. For a label the diagram question, you need to firstly investigate the diagram very carefully and make predictions on the language that may be used to label each part. Then move to the passage and skim and scan for possible answers. Well, that brings us to the end of Label a Diagram Question strategy. See you in the next lesson.